Whoa, that was a new intro. I had not seen that before. That was a surprise. So thank you, Jessica, for that. Jessica is our fabulous host on the Breakthrough Network. So welcome to Rewriting Reality. I am Shiraz. I am your host these many, many, many years. And it's been quite a journey since last month. I actually went to Denver for an event in which I asked two people to be on my show for this month and next month, and did not write down who was on my show for this month, and they haven't contacted me. So I guess no, that's not happening. Luckily, I signed on a new person to help me with my social media and marketing, and she was available today. So I'm going to bring on Anna Mako. How's it going, Anna?
Hi, I didn't even know that part of the story. I'm so excited now. I feel like I
You just
stole the spot.
yeah, they just called you like a couple days before. Hey, what are you doing? So yeah, no, that's what happened. There was someone scheduled, and I don't remember who it was, and they apparently don't remember who it was. So maybe I'll get them in for November, but we'll see. In the meantime, we have you. So,
My win. I'm so glad.
all right. So I have a whole intro thing here. Would you rather call a list of 1,000 leads and find out that maybe 80 of those actually qualify to a certain demographic, budget, or age, or receive 100 qualified leads out the gate? This is what quality leads do. They save you valuable time and resources, and Anna specializes in helping you get these qualified leads. So, Anna, tell us more about you and what you do.
God, it always sounds so good. um, we do a lot of different things, and I say we because I get to focus only on strategy, while we provide a lot of expertise. So there's everything from social media growth to I think like today we're going to be talking about creating your own community on social media platforms, utilizing those platforms.
Mhm.
Um, but it's really anything. So, like, even right now, we have a project going in the medical field where we specialize in medical is really easy, where it's just like getting the cost per lead down to a certain cost and building a new website, keeping everything optimized. And it's just like, it's pretty stable and easy. Um, but then there's like cool things where it's uh that's not PG-13. Yeah, but there's other cool things where like we're building software for people. So if they wanted to create a software where someone logged in and was able to keep all of their notes within a certain group, or you need something specific for your company, we're able to get the cost down for clients. And I don't know, it's really, we're doing a lot of cool different things, and we're educating people as we go. So it's
Okay.
like if you wanted your own software, a lot of people will pay what I think it's like an average of like 150 bare minimum to just start, even if you have people signing on that same program. And if you build out your own software, it's actually a lot cheaper within like the next 5 years. So things like that people don't think about until way later, and they don't even know that it's possible.
Okay. So before we get on to the coaching part, for those people who have not watched the show before, what I do is I have a guest on, and I get to be coached by them for about 15 or 20 minutes. And then we flip it around and I coach them for 15, 20 minutes. So we both get to learn. You guys get to learn from the experience, and magic happens as we rewrite our reality. Before we get there, though, Anna, what got you into doing what you're doing?
Jesus, what a question.
Did you come out of the womb and said, you know what, this is what I'm going to do with my life?
No, I haven't even actually thought of this question ever. And so I had to like flash back really quick. I actually wanted to be a therapist, like a psychologist.
Wow.
Yeah. And thank God my uncle Mark was the one that kept like pushing me into marketing and pushing me into marketing, because he has a marketing agency. And And then I worked in the mental health industry, and I was like, this is not for me. But I did get to like utilize what I learned there in marketing. So that's like my secret sauce, where it's like psychology is really, really useful in marketing.
Yes. So we have to
Yeah.
give big thanks out to Uncle Mark there.
Yeah, definitely. That was like a weird trajectory that I did not see coming.
All right. So then when it comes to getting your social media, uh, what's the word? I keep saying family, but uh, community.
Community.
Community. I like family better. But anyways, what can't you just like open a Facebook group and ask people to come? Isn't it that simple?
Not really.
Okay.
Because, like, for example, the Facebook group, the idea behind social media in any aspect is if you want to grow your social media. And so that's kind of like the where the questions come in for you. My first question would be, what is your purpose with your social media? What do you want to happen? Do you want to get clients? Do you want to have like your feel good place? Do you want to just pump out videos where people have access to like more knowledge? Like there's a lot of different avenues you can go. So what would you like out of your social media?
And you have to pick one. You can't like do all three. Or...
You could pick a couple.
Okay. So, hmm. And those are the three choices, or are there more choices? Or those are three examples.
It's whatever you feel.
Okay.
There's not like a questionnaire.
All right. Well,
Nice. I like that. Like the shoes on the other foot now.
oh yeah, because now you're coaching me. Okay. Oh, she's enjoying her position of power. Okay. Okay. I would like more clients.
Okay.
And I like putting out. I started doing the 1 minute videos because people were telling me 1 minute videos are being pushed on TikTok and YouTube and Instagram. But I really like them now because before I was like, what am I going to talk about for 10 minutes or 20 minutes on a YouTube video? And now it's just like 1 minute, I can spout out some ideas. So that's kind of fun for me. Just get it out, we're done. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, those things. So I can just spout stuff off the top of my head when something happens, and it would also be nice to have clients. I think that's a common thought for most business owners. It would be nice to have clients. So.
Okay, because there's two ways that you can get clients.
Okay.
It's so crazy how like no one ever calls me, and all of a sudden I'm like getting a bunch of calls. There's two ways to get clients. There's one is the very promotional and like advertisement in your face, where the goal of every post is how can I get someone to click on the link to sign up for my coaching service. And then the other one is more enticing, where you're sharing a sneak peek of what goes on behind the scenes that people would not normally get access to. And that kind of short form content is more enticing of like, oh, what else is behind the curtains kind of thing, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So that's why I'm asking like,
I like the second one.
So the second one though takes more work and it's more community based. So when you asked what the difference is between that creating a Facebook page and what we're talking about in community oriented, is that on Facebook, you can have a private page and we can all engage with each other. There's a sense of security that no one else is really there with us. Whereas if you're sharing the short form content of like, let's say I'm having a breakthrough with Shiraz, and it's a very personal moment about my like family stuff, right? It's getting a sneak peek of that. People love cringe. They love like a car crash. They love like even like people like in love, like too much love is like cringe too. And they love that too. It's so that's the shortest way that I can explain clickbait. Right.
Okay.
So before, I think I've long-winded it and I've explained how like something that resonates with them, something that catches their attention, something that no, they just love cringe. We're in the era of trends right now where America is back into like the 90s boy band, like no one cares about anything because they're exhausted about caring about everything. So cringe is very clickbaity right now. So someone like me crying and be like, "Oh my god, no!" And then 2 seconds later being like a psychopath, like, "Oh, everything's fine now. I feel cool." People are gonna be like, "What is this?"
Okay.
But that takes time finding those, and not you can rely on AI to a certain extent, but finding those is harder, and then also getting the okay from people.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the second portion where you're also enticing people to communicate about the experiences. So instead of having just the Facebook group where it's private, you would also have it for the people that are in your groups to be able to engage on like TikTok and Instagram where it is more public if they choose to do so. But that helps you because then the people that are also watching the content also see the like very uplifting community that you've cultivated and want to be a part of that, if that makes sense. It's like a whole strategic plan.
So I've got to bring the community into the TikTok videos as well.
Yeah, into all of the different platforms.
Instagram and yeah.
Yeah, but
Okay.
it's targetable too. So it's not like, how do I say this? You can like have all of their information on a CSV file and then upload it into each social media platform, so they're already engaged, so they can choose to engage or not. The idea is always, when you're looking at growth in this aspect, to automate everything. So my goal with asking you certain questions, creating your ideal client, and then creating the 30 days worth of posts for the next 30 days is so that I can then focus on creating the community on social media. And that means like engaging with content or comments and direct messages, tagged photos, creating like what else, like any contest if you wanted to go that route and like create excitement with your audience. There's a lot of different ways that you can go about it, but that's why it's so important to get this foundation strong so that you can focus. This will be automated so that you can focus on creating your community, because you can also use bots to like engage with your community, like so they'll automatically have a response always.
Mm-hmm.
But it really 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 goes a long way actually communicating with your audience, which is work.
Okay.
That's why like I try and get everything automated, because creating that engagement with your audience and like really being there is a lot of work. But in the long run, what you end up having is like you see these social media platform people now that like they kind of do even questionable things, but like their audience is very much with them.
Mm-hmm.
That comes from the fact that they really didn't have anything better to do and they were always engaging with that audience. So a lot of the audience is very like diehard fans for them, if that makes like the psychological thing behind it. It's weird. It's kind of creepy, but whatever. That's like the whole idea behind it. Let's go back. Do you want to go through the questions?
Okay, wait, I'm still trying to wrap my head around all of this now. So when you're talking about automation, you're not talking about automate the responses. I want to reply to them myself because that's going to create greater engagement.
Yes.
And so, and this may just be because I just don't know the technology. Like if I want to have someone on a TikTok video with me, can TikTok support two people on this? Or am I just putting something that I did on Zoom up on TikTok, but but then it's this square in the middle of this long thing, and I found that doesn't get as much engagement. So, like, so what do I do for more people on Instagram and TikTok? Facebook's not as much an issue.
Well, I'm gonna be way more hands-on with you. So like I'm more of that side. The guys that I have will be editing your content. So this would be long form content. The
Okay.
podcasting that we're doing, talking about my coaching versus your coaching, right? this is long form content. They would then download this long form content and create short form content from that. Anywhere between from 15 seconds to 30 seconds is ideal. 30 is a little bit long. You're really looking for like 0 to 15 seconds to like.
Okay. What can I put out in 15 seconds?
You'd be surprised.
I'm doing these 1 minutes and I'm like trying to cut myself off at 1 minute, and you're like 15 seconds?
No. So your job is still to create that stuff. My guys and my job is to create short form content from your long form this stuff, right?
I get that, but I'm still like, I'm not questioning like I'm only going to speak for 15 seconds. What can I convey in 15 seconds?
So I mean, you can convey, you'd be shocked to understand what people can convey in 15 seconds. I mean, I have a questionnaire that I'd like to go through with you,
Okay.
and those could probably, each question would probably be 15 seconds.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
All right. Okay. So I pulled up the questionnaire. She sent it to me ahead of time. So we're going to ideal clients demographics. Is that where we're starting, or to actual questions?
Hold on, let me copy and paste this myself.
And what if I don't know the answer? Is that something I need to find out right away?
No, and then I help you. It's not like I'm just like giving you, like pushing you in the deep end.
That's okay. I don't mind being pushed.
Well, it's new document. It's scientifically proven that you actually do better when you are not like being pushed and you like walk into something with like a plan and organization. You like make, and that long term you end up making less mistakes. So we're holding hands.
Okay. Aww.
Okay, so I'll ask you the question. So your ideal, we're gonna do one for a female and one for a male. Your ideal age group let's work with female first.
Ideal age group, probably 35 to 55.
Ageist. Location.
Anywhere.
Okay, figured.
Let's go North America just for time zones, so I don't have to get up in the middle of the night for someone from Australia.
Close time zones.
Yep.
Marital status.
Doesn't matter.
No answer. Interest or hobbies of ideal female client. Let me ask you the question first.
Okay.
What are the interests and hobbies that resonate with your ideal clients?
They want to make an impact in the world. Most of them like to travel, and they're into personal growth.
Okay. Anything else?
Not that I think of specifically, no.
Are there any specific spiritual or wellness or interests that they commonly share? Like, is there anything else that they're into, like yoga or anything like that?
I don't, like, just going from the clients I have right now, it varies. Some do yoga, some do meditation.
But your ideal client, the one that you're like, that's the kind of person I want to work with. Would it be better if you had a client that was like a person that was more aligned because they had a daily practice in their meditation so that they were like calmer? Would that help at all or no?
For
like easy, like to get
for
results.
me, it's more someone that is living in the moment. Definitely some aspect of meditation, not necessarily yoga.
Okay, so medication.
No, we don't want clients that are medicated. Well, they can be, but I don't want them heavily medicated.
Into being in the moment. Present moment. Okay. What challenges or struggles do your ideal clients typically face in their lives?
Inconsistent income. So they could do $15,000 one month and then $2,000 the next month.
Okay.
And then the stresses that come along with it, like they want to hire someone, but they don't know if they're going to get enough consistent income to pay them on a regular basis. They're not getting the clients, their ideal clients, because of the inconsistent income. They're just taking on clients, and some of them aren't necessarily the best clients for them. And they're having to do tasks they don't want to do. And then they might even be losing their passion for their business because it's just been a few years of when is that breakthrough going to come?
Ah! See what I mean? Like no one ever calls me all of a sudden.
Okay.
Maybe losing passion. Maybe losing passion for the business. Okay. What are their deepest desires or goals?
The deepest desires are to have a huge impact on their clients and on the world. For those of you at home, are you writing these questions down and filling this out? This is important.
What else are their deepest desires or goals?
Their deepest, an amazing family life. Like I said, to be able to travel without worrying about it. And be able to do a lot more personal development.
I would also say to be able to like have it all, because I think a lot of women in our generation, it's very much like either a career or happy like home life.
Okay.
Really, and I think that's one of the things that you talk about the most. That I think you don't realize that a lot more women.
Okay. You want the good life, you can have it all. House on the hill, yeah.
Happy home life and work life balance. Ideal clients, but experiencing with healing. Do your ideal clients have any prior experience with healing or with energy, magic, or similar practices?
Yes, all of them.
They do. Okay.
Yeah. Ideally, I don't have to explain all this over again, wait for them to get accustomed to the shifting process. Like I said, ideal.
Ah, I like it. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Are there any other names that this could be labeled under? Like would this be labeled under like Reiki or anything or no?
I don't understand that. What could be labeled under the energy practices, or what I do, or
What you do.
what I do is unique. It's energetic magic. No one else does it.
Okay.
Well, actually, no one else that I haven't trained does it. So,
Okay. So what about I'll write this one down.
not Reiki. It's funny thing with Reiki people is a lot of them reported that when I walk up to them, their hands activate. So I don't know if you know about Reiki. You have to activate your hands and then do the work, and their hands just turn on when I walk up to them. They're like, it's weird. Why do you do that? How does that happen?
I'm like giggling because my like my I always have fun with these things. So in my brain, I'm like, Do, 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 do. Shiraz is the alien with the Reiki people.
Reiki people.
I'm looking for my pen and I seem to have lost it.
I
Right.
want this one.
No, thank you. Ideal clients, blah, 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 blah. Need names. Okay, let's see if that's separated. We already know your ideal clients prefer workshops, online courses,
Yep.
group settings, right?
Yep.
And typical type of content and engagement methods do your ideal clients find most appealing?
The group coaching.
Okay. We also have to be like realistic. We're making up your ideal client. So like
Okay.
what other like forms of content would your ideal client be watching on like TikTok or Instagram that would make them click something? Because she's between, and we said she's between 33 to 55.
Yep.
Into like self-help, personal development, personal responsibility, into growing her finances.
Yep.
Um,
So when you say what would they click on, is that for me to attract them or for them just in generally? Because if they're ideal, they're already in the program. Like what are we looking at to get them in, or even when they're in? To get
okay.
them in. To get them in, they're going to be looking for spiritual solutions to cash flow problems, but they're also looking at the practical. Like they're looking for. I found like a lot of them are clicking on things for here's a new way to market your business. Here's a new way. Uh, here's how to promote your book. Here's how podcasts are going to get your business going. So they're looking for these fixes.
Okay, keep going.
So I found that when they that's it. So if there is a practical component with a spiritual slant, that's more of a clickbait for them. Right? So if it was spiritual marketing or aligned to the right podcast, those kind of things, where it's like, oh, they're using that language. I like that language. Are you actually typing something? It sounds like you're typing stuff
No,
up.
I was totally typing. Sorry, I was typing. I'm like typing and processing at the same time.
I'm just amazed because you're like looking in different directions, but I can hear the keyboard going, and I'm like, what is happening right now?
Woo, I haven't done that in front of people in a long time. So sorry. Oh, that was a good laugh. So what if they had free time, what would they be doing on their free time?
If they had free time, if they had free time and money.
Free time and money.
Okay. They would.
Yes, free time and money.
They would be traveling. They would be. A lot of them would be using their free time to go speak, to make an impact in the world, to help people. A lot of them have a cause that they want to support. So whether it's like helping with human trafficking or rescuing dogs or building places in Africa or something like that, there's a cause that they'll take out some of their free time and go help out people.
Okay.
Okay.
One more thing that they would go do if they had free time and money.
They had free time. They would. So they're traveling and doing stuff fun. They're helping people out. They are Well, a lot of them are family centered, so they want to do more stuff with their family, spend more time with their family. Several of them want to help let their partner get out of work.
I know, I love hearing that.
Mhm.
That's really, really like, there's a lot of like misconceptions in the world right now where like they're saying like all women are like a certain way. And like when being around these women that are saying like, no, I want to be able to like give my partner the opportunity to like choose something different. I'm like, ah, who can see this? Let me finish writing this. Um,
Okay.
okay, got it.
All right. So this is how important is this to get all this nailed before you start doing all the stuff on social media?
Number one, important.
Okay.
Can't do it without it.
Okay. So some people that are just like, I'm just going to go and start talking on social media. What's the difference now? What's the difference in impact?
Um, occupation if they wanted it. The difference is that you're fine tuning. So, if, for example, they swear it's being into this, like, I call it woo woo stuff because I'm more of a practical person. Like, I like science and stuff. So this stuff was really like the only way I can describe it to my science people, logical people is like, this is woo woo stuff. Um, I have a new system that I'm using that's potentially going to get me a lot of clients using a LinkedIn automation system. And I have a higher percentage. We've done a lot of work on it. And I was going to do it myself, but one of my guys said that he has someone that specializes in this exact CRM system. I'm going to be much more profitable having someone else that specializes in this exact system rather than me having to go in and learn it, right? That's number one, the difference between regular marketing and like custom marketing. Whenever you have someone that's coming in and like shifting things around to make it better and you know you're going to get better results, it's worth what you pay for.
Mhm.
But then the this part is extremely important because it's just like the CRM system. Like, he's going to be able, if I tell him I want these kind of clients to come in, I don't want anyone looking to spend less than like 5,000 per month per client. Like, that's like the bare minimum that they need to be qualifying for. And I give them more specifications. That his job is now just weeding out all of the people that wouldn't qualify under those specifications.
Hmm.
That's all we're doing here, is that we're creating the ideal client that would limit more of the issues that you've been having, and kind of like we talk about regularly, like we're essentially not just removing the limiting beliefs, we're essentially creating the new belief system, the new ideal client to come in. That it's not going to be like a question of what the cost of the program is. That it's not going to be a question of like, does this work, and challenging the belief system, because that's its own entire headache itself.
Mhm.
That it's not going to be, you see what I mean? So like, I like to get to know my clients so that I am getting the answers from you, but I also know you enough that I've already answered these questions. So we'll move along pretty quickly. And then we'll get into like creating 30 days worth of posts, because I know that we're limited
Okay.
on.
Okay. So what I'm hearing now is that the difference can be that someone that doesn't go through this process will go on and talk to people to try to convince them to become an ideal client, whereas someone that's done this just goes and speaks directly to the ideal client because there's no convincing involved. Let's just give you the content that's going to make you say, I'm the right person to work with.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the
I
same.
get.
You know what I mean? It's, um, when I first started in this business, you kind of asked me earlier, when I did first start out in this business, I started in LA, and it's like a really like dog eat dog environment. People aren't really like friendly and nice and like
Mhm.
um and so like I also had some of those false narratives that I played into where I like got any kind of client and it didn't matter what they did, it didn't matter what their personal life was like. It was just like, okay, they're paying me, like I'm providing a service.
Yeah.
And I had no life. I was exhausted. They would call at odd hours of the time. There was no personal or business boundary. There was no like support. There was just like constant like, and they're just very negative a lot of
Mhm.
times too. And so the cost did not outweigh what I was going through and the service essentially that I was providing. So this I have found when I reworked the entire business and I got things out of the way, if I come into every meeting with this idea of like what your brand is, what you stand for, which we've technically already done before. Um, so I already have all of that information. I mix it in with your ideal client. Now we have more of an understanding of like, okay, if it's a person that's from this age to this age, I know I'm a female that qualifies. I know several of the other women that are in the group. I know that even if I wasn't, I could kind of visualize the kind of women that they were. You said that family morals and values are very important.
Mhm.
So I can already think of like an entire campaign of women. I've done this setting in the background of this is the cool thing about I get all nerdy into it. I love marketing for this part. I'm multifaceted, so I've been like a nerd in this aspect, and like I know too many statistics.
Mhm.
There's a really huge misunderstanding that women think that men have it easier, and men think that women have it easier.
Mhm.
So we can kind of manipulate the algorithm. We can kind of like manipulate the statistics on that I know of, and create an engaging content. Like I know there's one that you had where, because I've rewatched them, so I know that there's one that you have in particular where a woman was saying like, I've I'm scared that I created some sort of block for my son because one day he would grow up and know that I was a terrible mother.
Mhm.
Like that, if we could get the okay of clipping that part and then having her release that and being like forgiving herself and loving herself, that moment resonates with so many women that are ideal candidates for the program. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So like understanding your ideal candidate, understanding their like likes and like interests, but also tells me the things that they struggle with. So if their interest is family, they struggle with that feeling of feeling like my family is connected and we're unified and we're safe at all times. They struggle with like letting go and having like control problems. Like a lot of the things that people tell me, I already know the negative aspects, so I understand what to target in like your stuff. So you would still be creating the same short form content you're creating. I would probably just give you some minor tweaks and like ideas to talk about here and there. My focus is to utilize the content that you have, make sure that it's okay to utilize for your social media based off of the questions that I ask you.
Okay. Got it.
And then people clickbait on that and they're like, they resonate with it, then they comment. That's when you start creating a community. They're like, because they say things like, wow, I didn't know someone else felt like this. Oh my God, what just happened to her? Does she feel okay now? Did she let it go? Like, what is this program? You're gonna start getting actual people like, what? And that is the goal. That is like a lot of people get excited about the comments and like, oh, there's this many views and this. I don't get excited about that. I know that the bread and butter and the return on investment are those actual questions that you get. And not a lot of people take care of them and respond to them and marinate that so that it can grow.
Okay. And then from what you said earlier, I
Yeah.
want to have topics where people go, "Oh, I have a question around that," but at the same time, there's got to be a cringe factor. It's like, "Oh my God, what's she going through now?"
But it's, you have so many of these moments.
Okay.
Like you really do. And especially where the majority of us are female. Like, look at me. I'm like Hispanic and mutt and I talk with my hands. You have a lot of women like that too.
Mhm.
And a lot of the guys are like really good examples because they would probably be really cool because men are mentally struggling right now. Like they're just like not, there's like no like thing going on over there. And a lot of the things that the men have said in your program has made me cry of like, damn, I wish guys could hear this. Of like a man being like vulnerable but still strong. Because you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, so there's those things that are clickbait too. There's just a lot to work with, and you have a lot of content. So you're like the ideal client for someone like me.
All right. Okay. So yeah,
uh,
this is going to be fun. Now, before we go on, we got less than 20 minutes left, and I have to coach you. So we're just going to do a really brief network commercial and be back. And then Anna's going to go have some energetic magic done on her. So here we go.
Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect. And it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com.
All right. So, for those of you who have never seen me work before, what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to Anna about an issue she wants to shift in her life. When I talk to her, I can tell when her conscious beliefs match her unconscious beliefs. And whenever they don't match, I'm going to say that's not actually coming up true. Once we find out that there's that discrepancy, we're going to dig down, find out what the story is running in her subconscious that makes that statement false. And once we get to the story, I'm going to ask her, are you willing to step out of that story? If she says yes and she means it, then the energy shifts. We're rewriting her neural pathways. And when energy shifts, I tend to yawn and cough. So that's going to be happening for the next little while. And if you're listening and I ask Anna, are you willing to step out of that story? And you realize you've got that same story. When you say yes, it's going to shift for you because I'm not actually doing the shifting. I'm saying, are you willing to step out of that story? So you're the one actually doing the work, even though it feels like it's me. So Anna, what are we working on?
I want that flow of new clients coming in and like that flow of new cash flow coming in because it's still stopped and it started to move a little. And the first thought was like, I'm overwhelmed. Okay. So I know I'm stopping it. This is, I don't like it.
Okay. So is your priority to make sure you don't get overwhelmed?
Yes.
Okay. So the safest way to make sure you're not overwhelmed is to have as few clients as possible.
Right.
So that's why you're stopping the flow. Ooh, man, I can feel this shifting already. So remember that when you start to have a huge flow of clients, you don't have to say yes to all of them. Oh, you did not go to a fun place right there when I said that.
Where did I go
to? Like, no, I have to say yes. If they're clients, I should take them. I should say yes. I want that money. I want that business.
Yeah.
Okay, but what if it's just like you've got so much work, you could just start saying no to people because you've got so much cash flow going?
Well, if I was there, then like, yeah, I'd be happy to be like, I can't take you right now.
That's not actually coming up true. So you're worried about overwhelm, but your subconscious thinks, but I have to say yes to whoever needs my help.
I have to say yes to whoever needs my help is what comes up?
So do you have to say yes to whoever needs your help?
No.
See, that's not coming up true.
Mother of okay.
Okay. And it's okay. They're swearing a lot on this station, on this joke.
Oh my God.
I was just laughing when you said, "Oh, that's not PG." I'm like, wait. Now I really want to know what that was. Okay. Are you willing to step out of the story that you have to help whoever asks you for help?
Yes.
Are you willing to step out of the story that you're a bad person if you don't help people who ask you for help?
Yes.
Are you willing to step out of the story that if you have a lot of clients, you will go into overwhelm?
Yes.
Ooh. Okay. So you have to really sink into this. I can say no to people space. All right.
But I do say no to people.
If people come to you for business, do you say no to them?
Yeah, because I don't like their business. And they're like, they don't want to pay more.
Okay. Are you worried that you'll sign on clients you don't like?
No.
That's not coming up true. So what if you sign on a client that seems like a great client, and then you're like later on, you're like, oh shit, they've changed, or oh, they're not who I thought I was. How would that feel?
I mean, it would suck, but like it's happened.
Okay. Would you be trapped with them?
No, because then the guys can take them.
Okay, but would you be trapped with them and their business?
No, I can cancel them.
Okay, that's not actually coming up true.
Okay.
So are you willing to step out of the story that once you take on a client, you are trapped with them?
Yes.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
Ow. Okay, that was not shifted.
Wow, I got scared.
You're feeling that, aren't you?
I'm so ashamed.
Don't be ashamed.
Like a battered woman. But they love me.
But they love you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. There it is.
Yep.
It's a freaking giant like volcano that we just found. Could that be like the thing that's been blocking me? Thinking
Yeah.
that
Like you reacted powerfully to that one. You are trapped with that client.
yeah, but like I physically felt terrified. Like I felt like a little mouse about to be squished.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this?
What's the situation that comes to mind when you think about being trapped with someone and you can't get out? Whether it's a client relationship or a personal relationship.
Ew, it's family.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the earliest one.
Okay. So are you willing to step out of the story that you have to avoid forming relationships so you don't end up trapped?
Oh,
Yeah, there's a lot of resistance there.
So I feel personally attacked right now. All of my I was like, no, I did want that relationship to work, and now it's all coming out. Run, Mitch. Okay. Okay. Try it again.
Okay, we're gonna try it again. So notice that this isn't really about your business. This is about personal and any relationship, personal business. You don't want to feel trapped. Okay.
Yeah, that explains why I have no friends. And I'm like, wait, I don't have friends, but like I don't want friends.
You don't want friends. Okay. But here's the thing, you're never trapped. If you don't like the way a relationship's going, you can always say, I'm done. Right? You've been brought up in the family that's like, no, I'm stuck with these people, they're family. But even with family, as a kid, there's really not a lot of choice there. As an adult, no, I'm done with you.
Yeah, but why do I feel that way if I've done that many times? Like, I'm not like stuck. Like, I've shifted, like, I've dropped people, I've canceled, I've moved. Like,
Yeah. But you were raised thinking that it's a bad thing.
yeah, okay.
So even though you do it, it hurts internally every time you do it. So you avoid doing it as much as possible.
Oh my God, that's so sad. Okay.
Okay. So are you willing to step out of the story that once you get into a relationship, you are trapped? Wow.
Wow. Why?
How old do you feel when I ask you that question?
Like infant size. Like, I can't defend myself.
Yeah. That's why it's so powerful, because you're reacting to the emotions you had when you were an infant. You hadn't built up the mental fortitude yet. So everything felt overwhelming. And so right now your subconscious thinks it's going to feel like that again. I don't ever want to feel like that again.
There it is.
Yeah. But it's never going to feel like that. Okay, you're starting to shift. Ooh, okay.
I'm sorry. That is the funniest shift.
Okay.
That could also be a funny thing where it's like a compilation of all your coughs.
Oh my God. Here's the thing. You're never going to feel like that because you've built that mental fortitude. You can say, I'm done with this, and you're not going to go into that overwhelm you did when you were an infant.
Wow.
Okay. So are you willing to step out of the story that your priority has to be to never feel like you did when you were an infant?
Yes. Oh.
Ooh. There we go. Now we're breaking it down. Now, are you willing to step out of the story that you have to avoid relationships so that you never get trapped?
Yes.
Ooh, that's already shifted a bit from before. Good. So now, is it okay to have more clients? Still no. Okay. What's going to happen if you have a lot more clients?
Someone will hate me.
Okay. Here's the thing. If you have clients, you don't have clients, people are going to hate you, and people are going to love you, and people are not going to give a shit about you, and people are going to care about you. Like, all that's going to happen no matter what you do. So you might as well have clients and have money and have freedom, even though some people hate you.
Yeah.
All right. I know there are people out there that hate my guts. I don't care.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do I still care?
Because you don't want to be hated. Most people don't want to be hated.
But I am hated, and I have those things. So, like, why do I still care?
Does it hurt when you know people hate you?
Honestly, it's like I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay. So that's not coming up true.
Oh, it does hurt.
Are you willing to step out of the story that it's going to hurt whenever you find out someone hates you?
Yes. Damn.
Right. So growing up, My brother and I hated Wayne Gretzky. There was no logical reason for us to hate him. Right? Everyone I know that interacts with him said he's a great guy and he's wonderful, he's inspiring. But we'd look at him and go, ugh,
No.
he's so famous. What the hell? Right? That's going to happen the more and more visible you get. Right? If you're worried that people are going to feel that way, you're going to make sure you stay small. Okay. So we're going to hit it again. Are you willing to step out of the story that you have to make sure no one hates you?
Yes. Ooh.
Are you willing to step out of the story that you have to minimize your clients so you can minimize how many people hate you?
Yes. Who thinks this way?
A lot of people think this way.
It's just, to me, it's like ever since, I'll say this, like, because now we're on your segment part, because I found you at a point where it's like I had already done everything. I'd done the imago therapy, the cognitive therapy, the regular hypnotherapy. I've done the you know what I mean? And so it's like finding you, and it's just like a shift, and I'm just like, really? Because I've had more progress in the last year internally than I've had in like all of those years combined, and I'm like, yo, what? Like, what? Why don't more people know about this? Why isn't this like a thing? Because I also worked in like the mental health industry. I was working at rehabs where like they were charging people minimum $30,000 a month for a shared bedroom. You know what I mean? Like, it's wild.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, was that like a 30-second clip we could use?
It is. And it's also, I'm thinking about it for myself of like, I tell people that statement that work in like energetic stuff and just more holistic all the time, but I've never actually applied it myself.
Okay.
Of like, there's also like marketing agencies that are charging like bare minimum for a website $50,000.
Yeah.
like what? I'm reasonable.
But if people are paying them, then they only need a couple clients a year, right?
Yeah, but I'm like, okay, but I'm reasonable. So like that should tell Anna that Anna can make it.
Yep.
If that makes sense.
Yep, makes perfect sense. Okay. Is it okay to have more clients?
Yes.
That feels better. Okay. How do you feel?
Yeah, you needed a nap.
Well, you had a big shift in there.
Yeah, big shifty shift, because that was painful when you're like, what did you uncover? It was like you uncovered something. That I felt trapped, that I was going to feel
trapped from infancy. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been feeling trapped from infancy. That makes total sense though. Like, I like am a crazy, like I've watched myself in different people and I'm like, oh my God, no wonder like I'm a lot to deal with. Like I'm exhausting myself.
Okay.
I can understand other people. Why is that there? And then I'm looking at it more and more. And every time we've removed a layer, I've become calmer and I've become more like assured of myself and more confident. Like I know my stats on my return on investment for my click links. My click links are like lower than what most people are doing in the industry now. Like I had a friend that came to me was like, his cost per click was at 60 and I told him I could get it to 30, but really I could get it to 25. I just like wanted that leniency. And then like I talked to more and more people about it and everyone was like their average was 50 to 60 and I'm like, yo, like I'm better than so many of you, like holy crap.
Nice.
And that's something I wasn't comfortable saying before.
Okay, but that's how you're going to get the business, right?
So I know, but like, you see what I mean?
Get it out there. Yep, get it out there. Woo. Okay.
Yeah, I have a lot of clickbait on here too.
All right. Okay. All right. Now, if people want to get in touch with you, Anna, how do they do that?
I will give you my Beacons page, but you can just Google me at Anna Mako, and you'll either find any of my socials and any of the podcasts that I've been. They all have my contact info.
Okay. And the Beacons is in the show notes. So if you're watching the replay, it's right there. And coming up this week on the Breakthrough Show, we've got Navigating Interpersonal Boundaries, which is tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern, and Taking Risks, a Breakthrough Show special edition, which is happening 29th at 1 p.m. I think that's Friday. Yes, that's Friday. So tune in for those. Those are going to be amazing shows. Thank you, Anna. You have been an amazing guest, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with my social moving forward. Do you have any final words for our audience before we head
out? No, I thank you so much for having me on the show, and I think that you're going to be doing really great things with this. I think anyone's really I'm really excited to get to do more with your social media to give people a sneak peek of like what we're really doing. Okay. It's cool. It's really cool stuff. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we are out of here. We'll be back in another month with another amazing guest. And I actually wrote who that is, so we'll have the guest. All right, here we go.